What's up, everyone? Logan Freeman here with Midwest CRE Advisors. Today, we're breaking down the City of Lenexa Planning Commission meeting from January 5th, 2026. If you're tracking development in Johnson County, this meeting is a great snapshot of how Lenexa is managing growth, compliance, and long-term infrastructure planning. This wasn't a flashy meeting, no massive rezonings, no speculative density grabs, but that's exactly why it matters. This meeting tells you how Lenexa actually operates when it comes to real estate development. This is the ground level intelligence you need if you're working deals in Lenexa. Let's dive in. The January 5th meeting had a relatively tight agenda, but the themes were consistent. Most of the action came through the consent agenda, which tells you right away that these projects were vetted, refined, and aligned with city code before they ever hit the commission. That's a pattern you see over and over in Lenexa. The city rewards applicants who do the work up front. The first item worth discussing was a revised final plat in the Falcon Ridge subdivision. This involved a single-family home where a pool and surrounding deck had encroached into required setbacks. Instead of asking for a variance, the applicant pursued a lot line adjustment. Small portions of land were transferred from adjacent parcels, including the golf course, to bring the property fully into compliance. Staff recommended approval, and the Planning Commission served as the final authority on this item. What this tells you is important. Lenexa consistently prefers technical compliance solutions over variances. They don't like exceptions. They like clean plats and clean records. That's a very developer-friendly posture if you understand how to work within the system. Another similar item involved the Cottonwood Canyon subdivision. In this case, retaining walls and other structural features crossed property lines between two adjacent single-family lots. Once again, the solution wasn't a zoning change or a special exception. It was a final plat adjustment. The result was that both homes were brought into full compliance with no added density and no land use changes. This reinforces Lenexa's approach. Problems get solved through plats and process, not by bending the rules. Several of the approved plats during this meeting were located near Prairie Star Parkway and K7. These included single-family, townhome, duplex, and multifamily components tied to the Solera developments. That corridor continues to be one of Lenexa's most active planned growth areas. Density is stepping up gradually, and it's doing so in a way that tracks infrastructure capacity. This isn't speculative density. It's controlled, phased growth. Now let's talk about the most important item from a long-term perspective. The Planning Commission reviewed the city's 2026 through 2030 Capital Improvement Program, or CIP. This is Lenexa's 5-year roadmap for roads, utilities, and public infrastructure investments. While the Planning Commission doesn't approve the budget itself, they do review the plan to make sure it aligns with the city's comprehensive plan. Here's why this matters. The CIP quietly tells you where the city is willing to invest alongside private capital. If you're underwriting deals in Lenexa, this document shapes what's feasible over the next several years. Infrastructure comes first. Development follows. There were also 2 items that were continued to the February 2nd Planning Commission meeting. The first was a final plan for a new industrial building at the Lenexa Logistics Center. A continuation typically means the project is still active, but needs additional refinement or coordination. Industrial remains a major focus for Lenexa, especially near transportation corridors. Even when timelines stretch, these projects stay on the board. That tells you industrial is still a priority land use. The second continued item involved the Clear Creek subdivision. This includes a rezoning request and preliminary plat for a proposed single-family neighborhood on land currently zoned agricultural. The public hearing was continued, which usually signals additional community input or adjustments related to density, layout, or infrastructure. If you're tracking greenfield residential development in western Johnson County, this is one to keep an eye on. So what do we take away from this meeting? Number 1, Lenexa continues to prioritize stability over speculation. There were no aggressive rezonings and no surprises. That's good for long-term underwriting and investor confidence. Number 2, Lenexa maintains a very process-driven development culture. Applicants who follow the rules and work through plats in compliance continue to be rewarded. Number 3, Density is increasing incrementally in areas with existing or planned infrastructure, particularly along Prairie Star Parkway and K7. And number four, industrial development remains a priority. Even when projects are continued, they stay in motion. If you're investing, developing, or advising clients in Johnson County, meetings like this often tell you more than headlines ever will. They show you where friction exists, where the city is aligned, and where future opportunity is quietly forming. We'll continue breaking these down on the Kansas City Market Pulse so you don't have to dig through long planning packets yourself. Thanks for listening. This is Logan Freeman with Midwest CRE Advisors. I'll see you on the next episode.